Back in the second hour of our program. On the line with us is Pam Garrison, a spokesperson for the West Virginia chapter of the Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival. The website poorpeoplescampaign.org and the Twitter handle Unite the Poor. Pam, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us. So tell us about how y'all are dealing with there in West Virginia, how you're dealing with Senator Manchin's, shall we say, intransigence?
Well, that's the reason we've invited Reverend Barber, Reverend Lee, the Poor People's Campaign, and the country to join us in standing up to the lies, the propaganda, the spin that has been put on the people. West Virginians are not happy. We're not content to live in poverty without we are one of the poorest states there is. Most of our jobs are minimum wage jobs. And so tourism is one of our main industries. And they won't give us a living wage. We are living in poverty. We hear the spin that this with the elections. We watched what happened January the 6th in horror like every other American did. And we've heard that we had one of the most secure, safest elections there ever was by the Department of Justice, the Homeland Security, every Secretary of State. And then as soon as it's over, we see elected officials start trying to dismantle democracy, suppress our votes, take away our rights, and the people are not going to stand for it. And we have heard the lies that about the filibuster. The filibuster is used to suppress the will of the people. It is not constitutional. It is unconstitutional. We've heard the spin about bipartisanship. There's some things, yes, bipartisanship they can work on, but there's some things you have to have principles that you have to stand up and defend. And that's what we want Senator Manchin to do, stand up and defend our democracy. Here in West Virginia, we have fought our legislatures, and we are 95% white. So this isn't a white issue, a black issue. This is a voter suppression issue. This is a red, white, and blue issue. They have in West Virginia, they've tried to make it illegal for us to protest. So the Milan strikers and the UMW and stuff wouldn't have the right to even have their voices heard. They are trying to silence the people, and this is a strategy. This isn't about this isn't about party and race. This is a strategy to keep us poor and suppressed.
Yeah, I totally get that, Pam. Pam, in West Virginia, as you pointed out, West Virginia is 95% white. In most of the states that are aggressively passing these laws, or the ones that did it most quickly, are states that have substantial black populations and Hispanic populations. Florida, Texas, et cetera, and the idea, I think, from the Republicans' point of view, was that minorities are more likely to vote for Democrats, and so we're going to pass laws that's going to make it harder for minorities to vote. In West Virginia, you don't have that dynamic doesn't play out as large as it does in, for example, Georgia. How does that change the political calculus there? Because essentially, I suppose in West Virginia you could say that the Republicans have substituted poor people for black people in other states, but it's and what does that mean to Joe Manchin? I mean that civil rights leaders come and try to talk to him, and his response is basically tough luck, and he doesn't have a large black electorate in West Virginia that he has to worry about backlash from.
That goes to show you that this isn't about race. This is a strategy. This is a strategy to keep the elites and the corporations in power and making our policies and making our decisions. And that is who we are watching pull the strings in Washington. It's not the people that we send that are supposed to be standing up for the common good of the people and for democracy and what right. It is trying to get political gains with their lobbyists and their corporate donors. they try to treat us like we're stupid, but you know we're not as stupid as they think that we are, and we do realize what's going on.
So in other words, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So what you're saying is that this was really never a strategy about race. What the Republicans have been doing is, you know, trying to get and hang on to power in whatever way they have to do it, and if that means suppressing people's right to vote based on their race, they'll do that. If it means suppressing people's right to vote based on poverty, they'll do that. If it means suppressing people's right to vote based on geography, they'll do that. That's essentially what you're saying, Pam Garrison?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Like I said, this is a strategy that's being pulled on the people. This isn't about this divide and conquer strategy. We've seen this and heard this for years. This same old spin we've seen and heard for years. Well, the people have woke up. You know, the old spin, the old cliches, they don't work on us anymore.
Yeah.
This divide and conquer they keep trying to pull on us. We're not going to put up with it. We are not going to do it.
I get it.
We are joining together. Every party.
Pam, you're absolutely right. And this is a strategy that didn't start last month. It's not a strategy that Donald Trump invented. Back in 1980, the guy who was the co-founder of the Heritage Foundation, the organization that funnels millions of dollars to right-wing talk show hosts as subsidies, the organization that has authored a lot of very bizarre legislation, runs all these think tanks and everything else, and was named Paul Weyrich. He was working on the Reagan campaign in 1980, and in a church basement in Dallas, he gave this is just a little clip of a speech that he gave to a group of Republican Christian activists, and this is when they kicked off the Republican campaign against voters.
Now, many of our Christians have what I call the goo-goo syndrome, good government. They want everybody to vote. I don't want everybody to vote. Elections are not won by a majority of people. They never have been from the beginning of our country, and they are not now. As a matter of fact, our leverage in the elections, quite candidly, goes up as the voting populace goes down.
I mean, that was 1980, 41 years ago. The Republicans have been running this scam in various forms. So how is it playing out specifically in West Virginia, and what can be done about it?
Since 1980, that is when Reagan went in and started busting up all the unions, the airline unions. That's when he busted the UMW. We heard acid rain. Every one of our coal mines is closed, and we've been hearing the propaganda from him ever since. Oh, we're going to bring your coal mines back. No, they're not. It's a dinosaur industry that they propagate West Virginians with, that we're going to bring your coal back. No, they're not. That is a dinosaur industry. Reagan and that's what I'm saying. We have had this same propaganda put on us, and this false narrative that that the Christians are for this hate and therefore, you know, separating people and demagoguing people and everything. That's not reality. That is their spin and their propaganda. I'm here, my family, I've got Republican families, I've got liberal families, I've got, you know, we're neighbors, we're not out here fighting each other and all that. We are all together if you talk to any one of them about their kids dying from the opioid addictions, from them going hungry and not being able to pay their bills, from them not being able to find a job, our infrastructure falling down, and everything. Americans are united. We are united.
Yeah.
We have a slim majority of the wealthiest people that has all the money, that is keeping our economy stagnant, that is the ruling class. Instead of the people, it is the elites, and the people are here to take it back. This is our country. This is our democracy, and we are not going to be silent anymore.
I get it, Pam. And what can people do to support the Poor People's Campaign there in West Virginia and nationally? I know there's poorpeoplescampaign.org. Go there as a starting point.
Go there as a starting point. Join us. We're sending letters to every representatives, to Senator Manchin, Senator Capito, because this is not a red and blue issue. It's a red, white, and blue issue. They all should be held accountable for their words and their actions, what they do and what they don't do to the people. We need truth. These lies and spin, we've had enough of this. We want integrity. We want accountability. We want the truth.
Yeah.
We can handle the truth. We're big people. We can handle it. And you know what? We're tired of hearing there's no solutions to none of the problems, because we know there is.
Yeah.
We know if there was the will behind it, our country we wouldn't be watching the authoritarian countries with their big modern infrastructure in every country leaving us behind. We were the leaders of the free world, and we have fallen to where we're begging. You know, that's not America. We're the bright light on the shining hill. What happened to that? We are not isolationists. We are leaders.
Pam, we just have 30 seconds. How does this play out with Joe Manchin now?
Hopefully, Joe will listen to the people and quit listening to the dark money or whoever he's listening to. We did not send him there to appease Mitch McConnell. We had 13 years of Mitch McConnell telling us, send your bills to the Grim Reaper so I can let them die in my graveyard. We are done with that. We put them in there to get something done. We want resolutions. We want to move forward.
Amen. Pam Garrison, the spokesperson for the West Virginia chapter of the Poor People's Campaign, poorpeoplescampaign.org. And we are all applauding you here, Pam. Pam, thank you so much for the call.
Join me.
Yeah.
Join me.
Amen. Okay. I love it. You're spectacular. Pam, thank you so much for dropping by today and talking with us.